Welcome everybody to our final Live with ByDesign webinar of 2024. We are so excited to be with you today to talk about some of the more recent product updates that we have put out there and also look ahead to some things that are coming early in 2025. As a reminder, or if this is your first time on the call, feel free to interrupt at any point. You're muted right now, but you can unmute yourself if you've got a question or a comment or an idea that you'd like to share. We like for these to be collaborative, so feel free to interrupt me at any time. There is also a Q&A function in Zoom, so you can type your questions there, and Dan and John will be there to answer those questions as we go along. And with that, I will dive in. So today I'm talking about product updates with ByDesign. And anytime I'm talking about product updates, I always like to start by reminding everybody about our release strategy. The way that we release updates to our system here at ByDesign is really a consistent and continuous update to our product. So we cut a new code and release it every month. So once per month, we're gathering up all the code updates that we've done and putting them out there. And those on average are going to contain, 50 to 100 updates each month. And that's just new code or updates to the code that is out there for all of our clients. So we call it single source. That means all of our clients are pointed at that same source code, which means every month that we're updating our system, our clients enjoy those updates as well. In addition to the monthly code cut, we also do daily UB hotfixes. So this means that any bugs in the system that we're fixing, those are going to be rolled out as they become available. So we're not going to wait for the monthly release for those code fixes. Those are going out to you daily, although we only do it on business days. So we're not releasing anything on the weekends. We're avoiding holidays. We want to make sure these are going out there while the team is available to support you. But we do have those smaller releases that go out on a daily basis for those bugs that we have fixed. Now, knowing that the release strategy is a monthly cut of new code, every client gets to choose which version they want to subscribe to. So the latest version is going to be that newest code that is cut each month. So every month that we're releasing, the newest version that we release is called the latest version. And any of our clients that are subscribed to latest is going to get that new code, and they're also going to get those daily bug fixes. If you don't want those daily fixes, or if you'd like more time before that code gets released to you, you can choose to subscribe to stable. That means you're going to get the release one cycle later or 1 month after it is released. And then of course we have a third option, which is 2 cycles behind or 2 months behind. So we really allow our clients to choose whether they want the latest and greatest, knowing that there's always a little bit of risk involved in finding those bugs. If you want the stable, now that it's been out there for a month, or if you prefer legacy, where we've basically fixed any of the bugs that were found from latest and stable. So we really empower our clients to choose how they get that release. And we have some resources to help you in understanding that. So we do publish release notes every month with the code that was cut. You can see it's a full listing of every single release that's included there. And we've just released a new page, which is the release schedule. So you can now look ahead and see what the planned release schedule is throughout all of 2025. As anything changes on that schedule, of course, we will update the page, but we want to make sure that you know what's coming and when you can expect it. All of these are available from your Freedom back office. So that's the small screenshot that you see there with the green buttons. That's how you're going to get to those release notes or to the release schedule. For those of you who are on the call who are not yet clients, you can also access it by going to bulletin.bydesign.com. That's where you're going to find both the release schedule and the full release notes. So now let's dive into the actual enhancements that we have been able to throw out there in the last few months. So the incentive tracker, this is our shiny new toy that we have been so excited to bring to you this year. And this is a tool that allows all of our clients to build and manage their own incentives to help motivate reps without having to do any custom development or run any special projects. Essentially, you go into your Freedom back office, you define the time frame for this rep incentive, the qualifications, and the rewards. You can go in at any time and track who is earning toward those incentives. You can also modify the incentive if you choose to. So it is a tool that we released earlier in 2024. I think it was about March of 2024 is when this was released. And since then, we have made lots of updates to it. And I'm here to share some more of those updates on today's call. So we've been adding new qualification processors, and basically that just means new ways for you to reward your reps. Okay, new behaviors that you can look for in your incentives. So the brand new qualification processors that have been added are one for rank maintenance. So as your reps maintain rank, you can see in the screenshot here, you can actually look back a certain number of periods. So you can say if they've maintained that rank for 3 consecutive periods or 5 consecutive periods, or maybe if they maintain rank every period of the incentive. Those are all things that you can set up using the rank maintenance processor. And then you also have a new one, which is if they have earned commissions from a specific bonus type. And while it may sound kind of odd to reward an incentive based on commissions, it really just opens up more behaviors because the commissions may be earned based on behaviors that aren't yet built into the incentive tracker. So by looking at the bonus that was earned, it is kind of an indirect way to then leverage any of your bonus criteria for your rep incentive as well. So with the addition of these 2 new processors, we are now up to a dozen different qualification processors. So that's 12 different methods, if you will, for being able to reward and motivate your reps with special incentives. Now, in addition to the 12 qualification processors we've also added some configuration tools within each one of those processors. So I say that we've got 12 processors. That doesn't just mean you have 12 ways to reward them. With the different configuration available within each of these processors, there's literally hundreds of different ways that you can set these up. So some of the newest configuration options are that you can look for the sponsor-based incentive qualifier. So you want to reward the sponsor based on the volume of their downline. That's always been a part of this tool, but now we've added the ability to either include or exclude their enrollment order. So you may want a new rep sign-up order to count toward the sponsor, or you may not want that to count. And so now you have that configuration flexibility there. We've added the ability to define by customer type. So when you're looking at personal volume, you can literally say, is it going to be for the reps, customers who are retail customers, VIP customers, only the rep's personal purchases, or only customer purchases? You have the ability to really get very specific on which purchases should count toward the volume and thereby award points for the incentive. You can also look at the order subtotal instead of the order total. So if you don't want tax and shipping to be able to come into play, or if you don't want promotions that are applied to really impact your incentive, you can choose at what point in the order process do you want that volume to count for the incentive. We've got product-specific purchases now. So you can indicate either a category or a collection of inventory or specific SKUs that you want to award points for. And then we've also added auto ship as a configuration tool. So when you're looking at purchases or volume over time, you can indicate if you do or do not want to include auto ship volume. You can also set it up for just auto ship volume. And then finally, whether they are enrolled in auto ship or not. And this can apply to a rep. So is the rep participating in auto ship? Is the rep's downline participating in auto ship? Is the rep's customer participating in auto ship? So a lot of different options there. And the key is really that you can duplicate any one of these. So if you're looking for volume, you can award points for auto ship volume at a higher threshold than you would award points for traditional one-off orders. Thereby, you're incentivizing the auto ships a little more than your standard orders. These are just the new options. Of course, these are in addition to the existing options that were already there for the incentive tracker. We did do a webinar on this last month, so the recording is out there for you to watch and learn a bit more about this tool. One more thing about the incentive tracker that we have added is the ability to edit the layout of those widgets that are on each incentive dashboard. So you can see here the screenshot on the right shows you the rep view of an incentive. This is where they can track their own progress. They can see which rewards they've earned. There's a downline widget to track my team progress. And you now have the ability to decide which widgets do you want to show and what order do you want to show them in. So you can make sure that the very important ones are at the very top. And if there is no, if you don't want that downline component, or if you want that at the top versus the bottom, you now have the ability to do that. Now, this one does require our team to at least expose this tool for you. So this is one that you will want to reach out to support if you're interested in changing up the look and the layout of those widgets on the incentive tracker dashboard. All right, so moving on from the incentive tracker, we've made some updates to the promotion engine. You can see a few of the updates here. This is certainly not the entirety of the updates, but these are the ones that were most compelling or the most used based on when they were put out there. So we have enhanced promotions with new proportional reduction and recalculation when you're choosing the awards credit action. So now you have more control over how the credits are calculated and at what point in the checkout they're actually awarded. We have added auto ship orders to the past earned promotion. So this means that you can now make an auto ship promotion a one-time only. If they've earned it before, they will no longer be eligible to earn it again. So this has always been true for standard orders. We've now opened it up to auto ship orders as well. We've added some to the cart browsing promotion type, and we've added a new condition here for bonus agents. So if you recall, a cart browsing promotion is the messaging that appears during the cart browsing. So as a customer, when I'm putting things in my bag, this can help show me how close I am to unlocking free shipping, or that one of the items I just added is on a BOGO. These are all things that you can set up to display to the customer in cart. And now you can also leverage your bonus agents as conditions there as well. So that means that you can either show or not show a cart browsing message based on a bonus agent that's already a part of your comp plan. And then finally, a new option for awarding credits that lets you decide where in the order of operations at checkout this actually occurs. So this one and that first one kind of go hand in hand. We're just giving you more control over how and when credits are awarded from your promotions in checkout. Moving on to Party, we've got some updates on the Revolution or the rep experience for Party. We have added the Party link. It's always been available on the main Party listing page. We've now added it to the Party details page as well. So we're just putting it in any place where a rep might need it to be able to easily share that link for associating orders to the Party. And then this one's also exciting. We have updated party orders so that gift certificates can be added to an order based on the customer, not just the party owning rep. So if you've got a customer shopping with you, even if they earned a certificate or a gift certificate through another rep, it can be used on your party as part of the party association. So just giving your customers even more ways to pay on the party and outside the party using those gift certificates. I just realized I don't have my chat open for questions, so I haven't been checking. Let me do that now. Okay, it looks like we do have some. Oh, Dan's already getting it taken care of.
Yeah, I think I answered the wrong question on that one.
Okay, yes. So it is a year, month version number. So you saw right through our nomenclature there. So you can see when you're looking at the release notes, I don't know if I have a main page here, but you can see like on the notes here where it says release version 2440. 24 is the year, 40 is the week. So you can know when they went out. I'm not even touching anything, and it is moving ahead for me. So yes, that is how we name our releases. And that's how you can always know when that release was put out to latest. Going back to the subscriptions, if you're on stable, the week isn't necessarily going to line up to when you got it because you're opting to get it one cycle later. So the naming of each release always matches when it was rolled out to latest in our release subscriptions. Great question. Now let's see if I can get back to where I was. Not sure why my PowerPoint is trying to advance on its own. All right. And then, okay, perfect. So that's all the questions we've got so far. So those are the party updates for Revolution, making sure that that party link is always available and that you can always complete orders for your customers, no matter how they want to pay. We also have some party updates to the cart. So we have added the ability to create a host reward order without having to add non-reward items to the order. Basically, this allows your host to complete a $0 order. Previously, there was a restriction on that required some additional item before it can be completed. That is no longer the case. Now your host can complete their order either using their rewards or using their rewards and adding additional items. So they may or may not have a balance due once they're ready to submit their order. And that's just going to be depending on how many rewards they've earned and how much they've used. But there is no restriction there any longer. So now any of your hosts can start that order at any time. They don't necessarily have to wait until all of their rewards are there. We also have added additional details to the party view of the My Account section. So within our cart, every customer has an account section. You can see it here on the right-hand side. And in that account section, if they have hosted any parties or are currently hosting a party, they will be able to see those parties listed there and then view the details. They can see how many orders have come through, what the total sales are. They have their own link to share that party with their friends and family. So again, we're just making it very easy for your host and your rep to share the party, monitor the party, and make the most of those rewards that they may be accumulating. We've also added the ability within the My Account section that you can actually dictate at a corporate level which widgets are showing and what the order of those widgets are. So right now, for example, the order on My Account is showing order history, auto ships, and then parties. Maybe you want parties at the top, or maybe you want order history at the bottom. You can now customize that and display how you want it to display directly from your Freedom back office. And then finally, some more party updates that we've made to the Freedom interface this time. The close party autoresponder. So this is an autoresponder or an automated communication that goes out at a predefined time frame. So how many days before the party do you want to send this reminder? We've enhanced this template to allow you to send it to not just the rep or the host, but you can send it to both. And then we've also added some new field tags. So you can now also pull in the rep ID, the customer number, and the customer name. So just some additional tools there for you to communicate about your parties. Next up, we've got some updates to our Nuvei integration. So if you're not aware, Nuvei is our preferred partner for global payments and payment processing. And so we've added a few updates to this integration. The first one is that we have completed the addition of bank draft or ACH as a payment type. And we've also added functionality so that when the payment is approved, because ACH bank draft does take a few more days to settle those funds, it's just a slower payment type. So the order is going to be updated as soon as the settlement happens so that the payment date matches the order date. And this is really important in the context of bonus periods. So for example, if Dan places an order within the monthly period of September, but the ACH payment doesn't get resolved until the 1st of October, we're going to make sure that the order date gets updated to match the settlement date of the payment. Okay, so that's important to know if you're going to use ACH or bank draft as a payment method, that anybody placing those orders in the last few days of the month may not actually hit the bonus period for the month because it's all dependent on when that payment date does come through. Another update for Nuvei, we have added the ability to use a separate credit card processing account for each one of your rep types. So for those of you who may have more than one rep type, maybe you've got an affiliate program in addition to your team builders, maybe you've got an umbrella of different companies underneath your parent company. These are all reasons why you might be leveraging rep type. But if you are leveraging rep type, you can now have multiple credit card processing accounts with Nuvei so that you can keep those separate for reporting purposes or for orchestration of payments. And then finally, we have updated a number of reports in your Freedom back office so that you can now see which payment type has been used for each one of these orders. So before this update, everything through Nuvei was just kind of lumped into a Nuvei payment type. Now you can literally see who's using PayPal, who's using which of the credit cards, who's using your Cash apps or your Google Pay. These are all APMs that now you can see how many of those orders are being used. That's really going to help you to understand which payment types should I be leveraging, which ones are most consumed by your customers, and of course, in your order research, if you need to refund or anything like that, you're going to be able to see exactly how it was paid. So that is something that's been added to your Freedom reports for a little more transparency on the corporate side when it comes to the payments being made by your customers and reps. We've made a few enhancements when it comes to global support for those of you who have worldwide reach. We've done some updates to our VAT handling in CART. So we've updated CART to apply the tax exempt status in those VAT territories. We also have the option for you to display a message on whether VAT is included or excluded in your pricing and throughout the checkout experience. Okay, so this is something that you can choose to either display or not. There's a Freedom setting for that. And then if you do choose to display it, you can translate it as well. Very important for global support for it to be translatable into all those various languages. So this is a really great enhancement because it's going to help you to meet some of the requirements, particularly in the EU, but also it's just going to offer transparency to your global customers so that they know at each point in their checkout experience, has the VAT been included in this pricing? Has it not? And they can see a little bit more detail about that type of tax. We've also added some global address support specifically for South Africa and Japan. We now have the ability, if you import or upload the address information for these areas, we can then do a postal code address lookup. So the tool is there, but the data is required. So if you're operating in any one of these areas, you should definitely consider importing or uploading those addresses because it's going to make it much easier for your customers in those areas to do the checkout because it's going to offer that address lookup tool. And specifically in Japan, this really takes our tool, our shopping cart tools, and makes them on par or in line with the expected experience for Japanese customers. They're very accustomed to having their addresses populate just by entering in that zip code first. So if you're operating in Japan, you'll definitely want to take advantage of this so that those customers see our tools as modern and really what they expect. A few miscellaneous cart updates. We now have gift certificates and credits as a payment option for enrollment as well. So this was a limitation previously, but now we've removed that. So gift certificates and credits can be used for either shopping cart purchases or for enrollment. And this does include the customer to rep upgrade. So if an existing customer goes to the My Account page and chooses to upgrade to a rep, they will be able to leverage any existing gift certificates or credits in order to pay for that upgrade. This next one is very exciting, and I know we've gotten a lot of questions about this in the past. We have updated our wish list functionality, and this is the screenshots that you're seeing on the screen here. Your wish list can now be shared by a rep. So as a rep, if I go into the cart, I can create and share a wish list. And when I share that, anybody that clicks to view it is going to get to the cart with those wish list items already in the bag. Okay, now the customer can still edit that. They can add items or remove them, but this can be a really great way for your reps to curate an order and send it to many customers at once. We have a related feature in the Revolution area of the rep back office that allows them to create an order and send it to one individual. So if I wanted to send Dan an order, I would use the order draft because I can email it to him and he just has to click to pay. But if I wanted to create a wish list for great stocking stuffers, I might create that wish list and share it out with my entire customer base. The difference is that when they go to the cart, it's not just a curated order for them alone. It's something that each one of the recipients is going to be able to go and purchase should they choose. So it's just another way for your reps to market their business, share specific products, whether it be holiday related, their personal favorites, seasonal items. The list goes on and on for use cases here. But this is a really great tool that can really empower your reps to market their business and really go out and get more orders versus just waiting for them to come in. And then finally, we have updated the shopping cart with the option to display the volume total. This is most often going to apply when the person shopping is a rep. If you want them to be able to see the volume that they're getting off of that order, you can now do that in the checkout order summary.
Does it display only to the rep or will it also display to the customer?
I believe that is an option in the setting. Whenever you turn it on, I think you can choose who it does display to.
Okay.
Great question. All right. Now these next set of updates are in the Freedom back office, and really this is a series of updates that we're making to try to make your job easier. We know that with so many different settings in our back office, it can be hard to find them, and if you don't know what you're looking for, it can be impossible. So we have started reorganizing the settings in your back office so that they're easier for you to find. So the first update is that we have moved many of the Freedom settings that were just in the generic Cart 2.0 category, and we've further categorized them for rep enrollment. These are going to be things like, APIs for rep create, or whether enrollment is available in checkout or whether they have to go to the enrollment screen. These are things that are, they've always been available, but they were organized under the cart category instead of the enrollment category. So we added that rep enrollment category to help you find them a little bit easier. Something else that we are currently doing is we are going through and removing the admin only restriction on a lot of our settings. This means that our system is even more self-service. You have more flexibility and control over what you want to display and how you want to display it. So one of those things is what we call the Revolution gauges. So you can see the screenshot here from Revolution, the graphs that you see at the top of the screen. This is going to be on your orders page, your organization page, and your downline or reps page. All of these graphs can now be controlled by you. You can choose which ones you want to appear, what type of graph, whether it's a pie chart, a line graph, and you can control the display and what data is involved there. So on the left-hand side, you can see the page in the Freedom back office where you can go to actually control that. And the path that you're going to want to take there is under Admin, Revolution, and Gauges. This is going to be where you can really customize this to fit your needs. So take a look at that. It's a new area that you've not had access to before, but you can see there's a lot of different graphs that you can choose to display if you want to. Another thing that we have opened up that restriction on is some of the Freedom settings related to Revolution navigation and Customer Manager. So the first one is the left side navigation. That's something that we just rolled out earlier this year. It was behind an admin only restriction. We've removed that restriction. So now you can choose if you want your Revolution menu to be a top nav or a side nav. You can do that without having to contact us. We've also exposed 22 new Customer Manager settings. These aren't new settings, they're just newly accessible to you. These are things that you would have normally had to contact our support team, but now you have the ability to go in and manage them yourselves. This is going to be things like search criteria, columns that are shown on the Customer Manager tool, and so on. You can see in the screenshot there what a lot of those are, but you can also go to your own Freedom, search for Customer Manager, and you'll see all of those settings that are now available. And then finally, a couple of miscellaneous updates to your Freedom back office. We have added start and end dates for changes on your PDF invoice by territory. This means that you can now update your PDF invoice with a start date that will not impact any of your prior invoices. So you can make sure that your historical invoices remain as they were at the time of the order, but moving forward, anything new is going to have the new format with any changes that you've made. This is also something that can be done by territory. The by territory has always been there, but it's the start and end dates that are new. So just a little more flexibility there and the opportunity to kind of plan for changes as opposed to just needing to go in and make those changes at the time that you want them to be active. And then finally, we've created a new Freedom a Freedom interface for canceling customers more easily. So you can see when you're viewing any customer record in your Freedom back office, you now have a very easy menu to cancel that customer right there, reducing the number of clicks and helping you to be more efficient with your time as you may need to cancel or archive any customer records. And then I always like to update everybody on the progress that we're making for self-service. This goes right along with us opening up some of the admin restrictions, exposing more settings for you. Along with that comes the documentation and the how-to articles. We have added over 40 new articles in Q3 and so far for Q4, including additional API information, new webhook documentation, autoresponder articles, as well as integration articles for ZipLingo, ShipStation, and many more. Obviously, with 40 new articles, I couldn't list them all out here. So I just grabbed a sampling, but of course you can go to kb.bydesign.com at any time and check it out for yourself. We will continue to add more and more articles on a weekly basis, and it's something I will continue to report to you on these webinars at least once a quarter. All right, so that does it for all of the enhancements that are already out there and ready for you guys to take advantage of. I want to now pivot and look ahead to what you can expect in the coming months for upcoming enhancements. Check the chat really quick. I didn't see any questions come in. All right, so here's what's coming soon. We have a new interface for the promotions engine. This promotions engine is slated for release in January of 2024, although a little birdie told me this morning that this might already be out there for those of you who are on latest. So if you are on the latest version of our code base, you might search for this new setting, promotions interface version. And if it's there for you, you can turn it on. If not, you will be receiving it in January. But this new UI is in addition to the legacy. I wanted to be very clear on that because if you are one of our clients that have been with us for a very long time, maybe you've gotten used to how the old one works and you don't want a new version, you can still use the legacy version. That is absolutely an option. And you don't have to just use one or the other. You may decide to use the new experience for new promotions that you're setting up, but use the legacy experience for any of those existing promotions that are already in place. You can literally choose with each promotion which one you're going to use. There will be some that were built on our classic interface that will need to continue to be managed in the classic interface. But the system's going to know that and point you down the right path. But essentially what this new UI does is it helps you walk through step by step. What kind of promotion are you trying to set up? Is it a cart browsing promotion? Is it an auto ship promotion? Once you know what type of promotion, who do you want it to apply to? What are the behaviors that you're trying to drive? You can see that it's much more of a wizard interface, helping you each step of the way. Step 1, what type of promotion? Step 2, what's the behavior? Step 3, who should be able to take advantage of this? It's really going to help you to know that you're setting up the promotions in the best way possible. So that's a new interface that we've been working on for quite some time. We're very excited about that. And then we also have a new promotion type that is being added in January. That new promotion type is really meant for those who may be using an external shopping cart. So if you are using, for example, Shopify, or you've got your own WordPress cart, maybe you're using WooCommerce, any of these options where the actual browsing and checkout is being done outside of our system, but that you're passing the orders into Freedom for genealogy and commission purposes. If that's you, then this promotion can be used by you. It allows you to basically leverage the data that is coming from that external cart into our system and evaluate for promotion at the time that that data is passed to us. So right now, we are limited in the number of actions that we have here, but you can update rep type, rep rank, customer type, any MISC fields that you might have, and you can award credits or cash. So that's kind of where it's at right now. I fully expect that we will expand on this as people get in there and start using it. Just like our incentive tracker that I highlighted at the beginning, we've added 12 new processing qualifiers there. I'm sure the same will be true here. As you start using this, let us know where the gaps are, what you might be looking for there, and we can make sure that it's going to work for you. So that's an exciting new promotions engine type that is coming in January. Also in January, something that is near and dear to my heart is the Comp Report Builder. For those of you who are already using this tool, we have changed the menu structure a bit here. Honestly, it's because I kept hearing from you, and our support team got a lot of questions on where to find the Comp Report Builder. So we've added Report Builder into the name of the menu here. So it's under your bonus, reports, Report Builder. Now, for those of you who may not be using this, it does require that we activate it for the very first time. So if you're not using it today, reach out to support. We can activate it for you. And then from there, it is a self-service tool. But the Comp Report Builder is a tool that lets you build reports for Revolution, for your reps to see, but also for your Freedom back office, for corporate to see. And you can use any of the existing agents that are included in your comp plan, any of the volume types, any of the rank requirements, paid as rank, lifetime rank, recruiting information, downline title requirements. These are all examples of what you can throw into a report using the Comp Report Builder. And now it's even easier to find because the menu now says Report Builder in the name. Another update that is coming in January is we are adding some columns to the report list. So the screenshot that you see here, you can see that the page is listing out those reports that are already built. This used to just be a single column listing that would just list out the names of the reports. Come January release, you will now also be able to see which comp plan version each report is pointing to, as well as where it is visible. Is it turned on for Freedom? Is it turned on for Revolution? Is it included on the contact cards? This is huge when you're managing your existing reports. If you've ever updated your comp plan, you know you have to go in here and update the comp plan that each one of your reports is pointing to. Now you can very easily see which ones have already been updated and which ones still need updated at a glance, because it's right there on the report listing and easy to see what you need to do there. So these columns should help you in knowing what you've got set up, how you've got it set up, and where it's visible. And again, if you're not familiar with the Comp Report Builder, reach out to our support team. It's a phenomenal tool that's going to help you avoid some custom report cost and custom development by leveraging the existing tool that's already there for you. And then something else that is coming in probably Q2, probably spring of 2025, is the new rep experience for Party. And any of you who are Party clients know how long overdue this update is, but we have finally given our Revolution experience the upgrade that it desperately needed. You can see here some of the mock-ups of what that new Party interface is going to look like. Functionally, there's not going to be a lot of changes, although we have reduced some of the duplicate steps. So if you were creating a party and felt like you had to add the address twice, that is no more. Now it's just going to be a one-time deal. So here's the mock-ups. Obviously, we'll be sharing more as we get closer, but I'm very excited about this. As a rep advocate and a lover of party plan companies, this is near and dear to my heart. So come spring of 2025, we will have a brand new interface. Of course, I will host a webinar, help provide some training for your reps so that we don't interrupt the business, so that it's seamless and they can start using the new interface very easily without any disruption to their business. All right, so that is it for what I've got to share today. I've officially been talking for 50 minutes straight. I don't know if we have any additional questions. Let me take a look here. All right, I don't see any additional questions, so we can wrap it up just a bit early today, and we will send out the recording and the presentation from today for any of you that are registered. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a great holiday season, and we will see you again in 2025. Thanks, guys.